Well, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome along to today's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire. I was all ready, and I've suddenly remembered I've written a few bits and pieces to talk about. Not the only bit of paper I have in here, I have to say. Oh, the place is surrounded with bits of paper, believe it. I mean, it really is. I'm just the world's most unorganised person. But this particular bit of paper has gone amiss. And I don't know where it's gone. I sat downstairs watching a little bit of telly before I came up here. Made a few notes. Is that the one? Yes, I've got it. It's okay. All worries can finish. I've already got it. Good morning. Welcome. It's just gone 3 o'clock. It's just coming up to 3:05 on Saturday, the 23rd of October, 2010, UK time. If that's what the time is where you are now, then you are with us live. A very good morning to you. Good afternoon, whatever the time is there. I know it's very early in the morning. I'm very, very surprised to hear that Zach, who's in Orange in New South Wales, is with us this morning. He says, just noticed the time, just heard the clock chime, or my chiming clock that's behind me on a shelf. Yes, that goes off every 15 minutes. I hope you like that. He says, heard the clock chime during the newscast, maybe a bit of paper shuffling. You mean this? You mean paper shuffling like this? Yeah, I was looking for a bit of paper. Blimey, it must be about 1:10 in the morning, Zach. Shouldn't you be asleep now? People in Australia usually are all in bed and tucked up by 9:30, because I've got to tell you, I love the country of Australia. If I was 15 years younger, then I would seriously look at going over there and starting a life, but I'm not. I'm a little bit too old to do that now, I'm afraid. I love everything about Australia except the television, which is abysmal. I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, Zach. It's just the whole way it's thrown together. Now, you may not have seen television here in the UK, in particular BBC One, not so much ITV, because that's all gone a little bit wrong as well now. But the stuff on the BBC, just the way that everything's put together, not necessarily the programmes, the way it's all presented to you, the viewer, on the telly. It's all done properly, little announcements in between the shows, and it starts and it finishes. We'll have a trial for stuff, and it's just done properly. Whereas the thing is in Australia with the television, the programmes just sort of bang, they're in, bang, they're gone, bang, there's an advert, and it's just not smooth, dear. It really isn't smooth. Do you know what I think I could be? I could have gone to Australia and sold myself. No, not like that. I'm not doing Rent anymore. I'm really not. I'm not going to rent myself. That's not what I mean at all. I think I could have sold myself as a TV announcer. That's one thing I wanted to do when I was a child. I wanted to be a television announcer. You know, the bloke between, and on ITV, when I was a child, they had in-vision announcers, i.e. someone like me sitting there in front of a camera talking to you, dear viewer, and telling you what was coming up, and perhaps, you know, telling you about something later on in the week, filling in that little. I think I would have been good at that. I wanted to be a TV announcer, like, let me think of the Thames one, Philip Elsmore. I don't know if anyone remembers him. He used to announce the programmes on Thames Television. And, of course, the most famous TV announcer of all time here in the UK, got to be David Hamilton, who also presented a show on BBC Radio 2. And, indeed, I was lucky enough to work with him for a very, very short period of time back in the year 2000, because he was on a radio station in London. He was doing the breakfast show, which is like, you know, in radio terms, the breakfast show is the big one. All radio DJs want to do a breakfast show, except for me. There's no way I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and pretend to be happy and chirpy. Just not possible, I'm afraid. I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, driving into London and doing a show that starts at 6 o'clock. Hello, how are you, everyone? It's all a load of rubbish, isn't it? Load of old rubbish. No, my ideal time on the radio, I suppose, would be I'd like late morning, early afternoon, sort of something like, you know, 9 till 1 or 10 till 2, something like that I'd like to be on. Anyway, David Hamilton did the breakfast show for a while on this station, and Toby Anstis, you might not have heard of him, he did that. I was right at the other end of the spectrum. If the breakfast show is at the top, then the overnight show is at the bottom. Guess where I was? Yes, you're right, at the bottom, where incidentally I'm happy at being, to be quite honest. I like to be down there in the gutter with the dirt. I really do. Eh? So, Zach, I don't know what you're doing up. He says it's called dedication. Yes. And he says about television, fair enough. Is it all of the stations that are wrong or some of them? ABC, which I think is your state-run one, that actually wasn't too bad. But certainly the 7 network and 9. I mean, it's just there's just no smooth. Doesn't seem to be a smoothness. It's all bang, bang, bang. You know, quick, 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 fast, fast, fast. And it's a little bit too much for me. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit older now, Zach. Maybe you like it like that, eh? Fast and furious. Is that right? I said to Zach the other day, because I'm going to visit to Australia. And if he's nearby, perhaps he could be. And how far are you from Sydney? He said, oh, about 4.5 hours on the train. 4.5 hours, jeez! You think I got that much time to sit on a train? 4.5 hours there. It'd be a quick bite in Subway. You know, half an hour in a restaurant and another 4.5 hours back. God's sake. It's a bit much, isn't it? Anyway, that's what I should have done. I should have come to Australia 15 years ago and made a life there and tried to get on as a TV announcer or something like that. But I'm happy to sit here. I'm happy to sit here in the cold. Actually, it's not too cold at all. It's warmed up again, boys and girls. It's warmed up again. Let me just do a couple of messages coming in here. Good morning to Vicky Gannon, who's with us this morning, who is in New York. New York, New York. Morning, Vicky. Always a pleasure to have you here, but no email from you this week. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I'm hurt that there is no long email from my Vicky this week. You are an email regular. I look forward to reading and pulling your sentences apart one at a time, letter by letter. It goes in. I don't just scan across your letters, Vicky. Oh, no. And that goes for anyone else who ever sends in emails. I don't just scan, I look at it letter by letter, and the letter goes in one eye and comes out the other. And the words are strung together and they come out of my mouth. Please feel free to send in emails at any time. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you're watching or listening to a recording of this show, it doesn't matter. You can still join in by the email. Please feel free to do so. Okay? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you're with us live, and it's 12 minutes past 3 on Saturday, October the 23rd, 2010, you can join us live. We have Skype. We have the new Skype. And I have a little bit of trouble with that, actually. Has anyone downloaded the new Skype and find that it keeps freezing? Because I've got a bit of a problem with that. I don't know if anyone else has got that problem. If you've got Skype, then you can join us live. My Skype username is all one word, United Kingdom Radio. Click the add contacts and I will be pleased to add you to our happy little family of friends, okay? Click the add to contacts button, United Kingdom Radio. And we also have a phone-in number as well. The phone-in number is a local London number, 020 3287 1488. 020 3287 1488. Okay. Good morning to Fagash Lil, who says, do you mean 50 years younger than Zach? No, not quite 50. Thank you, Fagash Lil. Not quite. Zach is 18, 28, 30 years. No, 28, 38, 48. No, hang on. 18, 28, 38. Not good at maths. Really not good at maths. I mean, don't try and con me with money, okay? Very good with money. Maths, no, not good. Hang on. So 18, 28, 38, 48 minus 147. So it's 29 years older than Zach I am. Thank you very much. Okay? So as you inquired, Fagash Lil, right? Maybe that's why I like it nice and like slow and a little bit slow. And he likes the TV bang, bang, but all the way through. As quick quick, quick, quick. Isn't it funny when we're younger? We want everything fast, don't we? Quick, quick. You see them in McDonald's, don't you? I want. You know, there's me at the carvery, slowly queuing up for my little plate of meat and potatoes. Huh? Thagash Lil says, it's the weekend for Zach. That's probably why he's up late. Well, I don't know about that, Zach. I mean, 1:15 in the morning. You are dedicated. Dedication, hoo-hoo, dedication, hoo-hoo, dedication. That's what it needs if you want to be the best. If you want to be the rest, hoo-hoo, dedication's what I need. Ba, 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 ooh. A little song for you this morning as well. How kind am I? Good morning to Mike Cullen, who says, we can hear you. You're not 47, Chris. Yes, I am. I know. Isn't it amazing? Look, and no surgery. No surgery whatsoever. I don't go along with all that face injecting and all that other business. What is it called? Botox. It don't look right. I mean, I shouldn't say. Really shouldn't say this because you never know who's listening. One of the managers, a man as well. Well, I say man, you know, bit the other way, I think. But one of the managers I work with, he's had all this Botox. He don't look any different. He looks older. They just look very strange. If you want to try and hide it, I think a bit of makeup could do it. You see these programmes on the telly, like Paul O'Grady. We have a guy here in the UK, Paul O'Grady, fantastic show on the telly. On last night's show, he had one of my DJ heroes, Chris Evans. And someone else I like on there. Louis Walshe. He's a funny little man, isn't he? Have you noticed Louis Walshe on the X Factor? I said that about makeup. That does seem to work. If you want to look younger on telly, then just slap a load of makeup on. But Louis, I don't know if you've noticed, Louis on the last few X Factors looks rather pink, don't you think? He is actually looking very, very pink. Louis Walshe. There's a man I'd like to meet. I think he's a great laugh. I really like him. Little Louis Walshe, top of the morning to you, Louis. Hello and welcome. Simon, you're a very camp, aren't you now? Simon. We like Louis Walshe. Anyway, back to these messages. Zach says, from the city that's half asleep, this is Chris Reardon's breakfast show. Well, I am the breakfast show for Vicky Gannon. Because there it's 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, I mean, that's my breakfast time, 10 in the morning. I know some people get up 6:30 and all that business. Vicky Gannon, for Vicky Gannon, I think it's around about 10 o'clock in the morning. So I am a breakfast show in New York. In Australia, I am an overnight show. Yeah. Zach says, it's all about the competition. I liked it when I was a kid. What, you like the television? I'm not sure what you're saying there. What was I just talking about? Oh, I can't remember. That was at least a minute ago. I have a very short-term memory, which I think that's my own fault for being naughty when I used to go out to raves in clubs about 10 years ago. I'm sure you know what I'm saying, okay? Yes, it's robbed me of my short-term memory. Never mind. Now, Mike Cullen, who is back from his long-haul holiday to Benidorm. And he's back tonight. He's doing a one-off on a Saturday night. Mike Cullen is here at 9 o'clock UK time. So that's 9, 8, 7 o'clock in the morning, Zach. Will you be up for him? I think it's... what's the time there now? Is it 1:15 there? So Mike will be on at 7 o'clock in the morning, your time. I hope you'll be up for Mike Cullen. He is the best presenter here on United Kingdom Radio. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I've got my bests and my favourites. My favourite show is not here today. Sean Riches is not going to be here today, boys and girls, because, and I quote... Oh, where is he now? Where's his little... There he is. Sean Riches is... Just a minute. Just to let you know, I won't be on air this evening as my studios and bedrooms are being painted. He's got a new webcam being installed, new monitors, new lights. We'll be back on air next week. I'm very disappointed, to be quite honest, Sean. You know, who is going to make me laugh? Sean is my favourite presenter here on UK United Kingdom Radio. But the most professional presenter is Mike Cullen. He's here at 9 o'clock to tell you all about the wonders of Benidorm. What is a long, long haul flight of at least an hour and a half. God, I mean, did you pay for the upgrade, Mike? Did you get the flat seat? Were you able to go to... Were you able to go to sleep like I do when I go to Australia on a flatbed, dear? No? Were you upstairs on the plane? It is a long haul flight, isn't it, Benidorm? He's going to tell you all about that tonight from 9 o'clock UK time. That's Saturday, unitedkingdomradio.co.uk. Mike reckons I could still get a job as a TV announcer. Well, I don't want to start at the bottom, really. Maybe I have to start somewhere like Channel 5 or Channel 4. My friend is an announcer for Channel 4. His name's Danny. He's the one with the heavy Irish accent. I don't know if he's still doing it, actually. Is there a guy with a heavy Irish accent on Channel 4? If so, that's my mate Danny. He does that. I haven't spoken to him for ages, actually. He says, do you actually have time for the X Factor? I hate Louis Walshe. I would like to... I'm not reading what you want to do to Cheryl Cole, Mike. Please. This is a family programme. Is Cheryl Cole very big in Australia? Zach? Yeah. He says, Zach says, it's all the sleeping you do that's killing your short-term memory. I'm suggesting that I sleep too much. I do sleep at odd times. I mean, I really do, you know, different times of day and night. Mike says, I didn't sleep because I wanted to see the takeoff, which I've seen both there and back. I love the feeling of taking off. What's the most favourite part of flying for you? Exactly the same as you, actually, Mike. Taking off. Oh, yeah. When you're in that seat, you know, and he's slowly taxiing round as he taxis round to the runway. And then you see, as it's coming round, you see all the little planes lining up to take off, don't they? All these little planes going to such faraway places like Benidorm. All these little planes, these little 737s, lining up, and then they get out of the way, and it's time for the big plane going to Australia, lovey. I mean, there it is, this massive thing, and there I am on the top deck, thank you very much. Yes, business class, flat seat, drinks coming at me, little television in front of me on the seats. Oh, I love it. All the kids screaming at the back of the plane. Can't hear them, got a little curtain separating us. Very nice, thank you. Little curtain separating us. You get on the plane, and first time I went on this in the posh seats, I went to turn right, and an arm came out from this lovely lady who was about 800 years old. I'm not joking. One of the BA girls. She was about 800 years old, and her hand went across. Sorry, sir, could you turn left, please, and up the stairs? Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I love it. Was it like that when you got on the plane, Mike? Eh? Or did you cycle there? Did you cycle to Benidorm, long haul? Anyway, you'll hear all about Benidorm tonight. On the Mike Cullen Show, 9 o'clock UK time. Yeah, I love the taking off on the plane. I must say, it's my favourite part of being on a plane. Zach says, who's Cheryl Cole? Oh, she's this massive pop star in the UK. I mean, she's all right. She's just a bit pretty, so all the blokes fancy her. You know, all the blokes fancy her. Not my cup of tea, to be honest. But there we are. You know, I mean, that's it. They do. You'd probably look her up, Zach. You'll probably fancy her as well. Cheryl Cole. You know, she was married to this footballer Ashley, but he started sleeping around. Terrible, isn't it, dear? Absolutely terrible. I mean, I just think you should find one person to sleep with and that's it. I mean, that's me. That's me. Terry Turner says, did you hear the show from last night? Can you believe, boys and girls, someone has won the Roberts radio? After I made several complaints to the to the presenter of the Terry Turner show, who is incidentally Terry Turner, with Travis Mitchell, although Travis Mitchell wasn't there. Travis is doing something else. Amazing. Travis is the campest straight man that you'd ever come across. He is as camp as a Christmas tree and yet straight. I've come across, there's a few people in the world like that. There are straight men, real proper straight men who don't fancy other men, okay? They fancy girls, but they are camp. I mean, you should see some of them walking around town here sometimes. They're there. They're out there in white tracksuit bottoms, white tracksuit tops and a little cap on. And they think they look hard. No, you don't. You look camp. You absolutely look camp. So next time, lads, when you're going out with your little tracksuits on, just remember I said that. All right? You actually look very camp. You might be attracting the wrong sort of person. I am the man that your mum told you to worry about. Mike says, let's have a look. I'm so proud of Cheryl and Fowl. Oh, listen to him. She doesn't watch this programme, Mike. You're wasting your time licking up to her like that. Oh, look, shall I read you what Mike's just written? I'm so proud of Cheryl. And how far she's come. I knew her when she was 15. Well, why didn't you have a go then, dear? See, you missed your chance. You never know. It's like people watching this programme now, you know, who think they should have a chance with me now. Because in 10 years, I might be an international celebrity, bigger than Paul O'Grady, bigger than newsreader Moira Stewart, bigger even than Vera Lynn and Terry Wogan. Maybe not as big as Simon Cowell, but I don't tend to get a waist that size. He's just too fat, dear. Did you see those pictures of Simon Cowell in the newspapers around the summer period on the beach? Oh, bleh, oh, bleh. Oh, he had man boobs. They were big. Bleh. I felt ill. I thought it was Jordan at first until he turned round and you saw this botoxed face. Actually, I don't think Simon Cowell doesn't need botox because if you're fat, it pushes the skin out anyway, doesn't it? No botox for me. Oh, bless her. It's old little Mike, you know, he knew Cheryl Cole when she... Are you still in contact with Cheryl Cole, Mike? Maybe you could get her on your show and interview her. Keep your hand above the desk, though. Not having any fun business. Not here on United Kingdom Radio, please, if you don't mind. Okay? Email address to the show once again, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, Mike says, you've just described me in words. Camp, but I fancy women. Now, Mike, I know you fancy women, but I hate to tell you this. I've listened to many of your shows, and you are the best presenter here on United Kingdom Radio. I'm not just saying it, you are. But you're not camp. I can hear a feeling of disappointment at this moment going through your body. You're not camp, Mike. I'm sorry to have to tell you that. Camp is Travis Mitchell. Straight and camp. You are not camp. Sorry, that's the way it is. It's not something that you can practice to do. You won't be able to act camp. You just are, or you aren't. It's like me, not camp. Not camp at all. Travis Mitchell, very camp, but straight. Campest thing on here, Travis Mitchell, easily. Absolutely. Mike wants to be camp, isn't camp, but is still straight anyway. I can't work it out. It's all very confusing, it really is. Zach says, you sound like a fat kid in a candy store with your attitude towards flying. Is she like... to be honest, Zach, I hate it. I absolutely hate flying. I'm only pulling your leg here with a lot of this, right? I hate I don't care how good the seats are. I hate it. It's just so inconvenient. Sitting on that plane for hours on end. I would love to sail to Australia. Now, that must be nice. But people I know have done that, and it takes... Is it 3 weeks to get to Australia on a boat? But see, you can get up, you can run around, you can do... There's so much to do on a boat, isn't there? I mean, you can stand up on a plane, but there's not exactly... You can't go for a run or a swim or anything like that on a plane. That's the thing. I hate it. Hate flying. Zach wants to know, is Cheryl Cole like Billie Piper? She is. Yeah, she's about the same as Billie Piper. Do you like Billie Piper then? Eh? He says, funny how someone won the radio without Travis being around last night. Yeah, I found that very strange. I'm going to see if I can find you a picture of Cheryl Cole, and I'll send it to you straight away. CH. How do you... Oh, excuse me, I've got hiccups. I've just had dinner, that's why. Cheryl Cole. Cheryl... Oh, there's a news story here. Cheryl Cole, I never get chatted up. Look at this. The X Factor judge is a single woman. She's one of the X Factor judges here in the UK. Oh, what's happened now? One of those ads has appeared. I hate that, don't you? Although, that's good. The X Factor judge is a single woman. This is Cheryl Cole, following her divorce from Chelsea England footballer Ashley. However, her new status has not prompted a stampede of boys chatting her up. She says, I don't get chatted up. Well, I know how you feel, dear. I don't get chatted up either. That's a lie. Actually, there was a little girl, oh, bless her right there. She was trying to chat me up a couple of weeks ago at Walshe's on Saturday nights where I DJ. Oh, bless her. And they don't believe you when you tell them, you know. They don't. I'm sorry, I don't fancy girls. Oh, you must do. You must fancy me. Eyelids fluttering. No, go away, love. Sorry. Sorry, darling. Anyway, let me get this picture of Cheryl Cole. There you go. I'll send you the whole news story, Zach, and you can have a little look at this young Cheryl Cole. There you go. And tell me what you think. Is she a possible girlfriend for you? Well, mind you, not the Australian boys. Oh, they're just a joke. I watch them because where I work on Saturdays and Mondays and Wednesdays, Walshe's, right? We get a lot of Australian backpacker boys in there. Okay? And they go from one girl to the other. They're like bees. They're pollinating the flowers. And then they move. I know how you lot work. I've watched you. It's quite funny. And they're very quick to move, Australian boys, onto the girls. I've seen it with my own eyes. They come in. If they fancy a girl, that's it. They're straight over. No mucking about. The English lads are still sitting there on the chairs, having another couple of beers, waiting to try and pluck up courage to get up. Well, by the time they finish, the Australian boys are already in there, mate. That's absolutely true. They don't hang around. They don't seem to be nervous at all. They're up out of their trousers, up out of their chairs. Did I say trousers? Up out of their chairs and straight over to the girl that they fancy. It's true. Absolutely true. They don't hang around and they get them, believe me. But the next week, they're in again and they go with someone else. I don't think it's possible to marry an Australian or have an Australian boy as a proper girlfriend. Now, Zach, are you like that? Are you from one girl to the other? Or are you looking for a wife? We might be able to find, perhaps Cheryl Cole could be your wife. Is she pretty enough? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me what you think. Terry Turner says, I wouldn't say about that about Travis. What, being camp, dear? He is very camp. Travis is camp, but straight. He says, you should have been in Blackpool on that Saturday afternoon. Even straight is questionable. What? Really? Very interesting, that. Tell us more. Tell us more. Or we might wait for him to tell us, okay? Mike Cullen says, come on, Chris. I could get off with Billie Piper, Cheryl Cole, no chance. Why is that then? Why is it different? Why would it be... Oh, because you know already. Have you not spoken to her since those school days? How do you know Cheryl Cole didn't have... It's like a relationship programme, this, isn't it? This is like a relationship programme today. How do you know Cheryl Cole didn't have a little crush on you, Mike? I mean, I'm gonna say, Mike, I quite like the accent myself. I like the Liverpool accent. I think that's incredibly sexy, the Liverpool accent. Maybe she had a little bit of a crush on you, but she was too shy to do anything. Now is your chance, dear. Why don't you go on? Have you got a phone number? Give her a ring. Oh, hi, Cheryl. It's Mike here from school. I was the one at the back who used to flick bogeys at you. Was ya? Did you do that, Mike? Flick bogeys at Cheryl Cole? Mind you, looking at her hair on Saturday night, I think she hasn't washed them out yet, dear. How awful. Mike says, no women were quick to get off with me in Spain. Shame. I wonder why that is. Perhaps you're not saying the same right words or wearing the right clothes, Mike. Eh? You're not going down to round pubs dressed as a drag queen by any chance, are you? Because that's really not a good idea. It doesn't work. Good afternoon to Gavin Bass. He's with us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Gavin. He's probably in the middle of cooking something, I expect. And Vicky Gannon says, when do you change the clocks in the UK? I have a feeling that there is a week to gap between the UK and US clock changes. Now, that's a point, isn't it? Shall we find that out? Oh, here we go. Zach's on the phone. That was quick. Just as I looked up at the computer, your little face appeared. Good afternoon, Zach.
Morning.
All right. Is it 25 to 2 in the morning?
Yeah, it is.
Cool, dear. You really are dedicated, aren't you?
Yep.
Blimey, I can't believe that. Anyway, how are you, Zach? So have you looked at Cheryl Cole? Is that a possible wife for you?
Possibly.
No, not your cup of tea?
Did she come out to Australia much?
Pardon?
Would she come out to Australia?
Well, I mean, if you sent your photo to her and she liked, I'm sure, I mean, she could afford first class on the plane. I mean, that is it. I haven't been first class yet. She could afford first class. And maybe if she might like a toy boy because she's a bit older. She would be I don't think she's old enough to be a cougar, you know, but I think she's
Yeah.
late 20s, very early 30s, and she might want a little bit of a toy boy like yourself, Zach. I mean, could you cope with that?
Ooh.
Possibly. Could you cope with the lady, you know, her going out to work, and all you've got to do is be there for her at night?
Ooh. Depends on what I have to do during the day.
Well, you won't have to work or anything like that. You'll have people going around doing the hoovering and the dusting and all that business, and then Cheryl Cole will be at work doing her TV stuff and all that business and a little bit of singing. She got some good tracks out. She got some very good tracks out. Last year was a really good track, and it's still very popular now. Fight for Your Love. And it's got a dance routine. You gotta fight for your love. Don't you know that one?
Hey, I've heard that.
Oh, right.
I think I've heard that before.
Well, there you go. That's Cheryl Cole. And Zach,
Oh.
I'm going to tempt you a little bit further, okay? While she was doing this, Zach,
Right.
she had thigh-length boots on and black fishnet stockings.
Okay.
So come on, who would you marry? Anyone on the telly that you fancy?
Oh. I have to get back to you on that one.
No one. Or would you rather have the latest computer game for whatever little computer machine that you've got?
Well, the latest computer game would be crap on my computer because it's a hunk of crap.
Oh, is it? Have you not got one of those, what are they called? My nephew's got one. Sony PS, whatever it is. PS3, isn't it?
No, I haven't got one, but yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is.
Do you have a games?
Oh, well, not mine.
Do you have a games machine in your house, Zach?
I have an Xbox.
An Xbox. No, that's what he's got. Is that the one
Yeah,
where you plug in headphones and you can talk to people while you're playing games?
I think so. I
Yeah,
haven't used it like that before.
I'm sure. Well, he's got whatever games console he's got. He's got a little headphone, what plug in, and he can talk to the people while they're playing the games and all that. It's very clever. Where's your mum and dad tonight? Are they in bed?
Yeah, they're in bed. They're fast asleep by now.
And they don't know you're up. Well, you wake them up when you're talking to me like this. They won't you wake them up talking to me?
They probably do. asleep.
Oh, okay. What do they do for a living then, Zach?
They work in, what is it, health?
In healthcare?
Yeah,
Oh, right, okay.
like in hospitals.
Oh, right. Well, if I get ill then, I'll keep your Skype and I'll just text you straight away and get me straight in so I won't have to queue up.
Yeah, so, where would this be? In England or
No, when
in
I come
Australia?
when I come over there for a couple of weeks, if I get into any sort of trouble, I'll give you a ring.
Yep, just that 4-hour drive. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Zach. I do appreciate you staying up this late. I can't believe this. Well done. Yeah.
That's cool. I love listening to the show.
Thank you, Zach. Are you going to have a little go yourself? Why don't you record me a 10-minute show? Do me a 10-minute show and let me have a listen to it. No one else to listen, only me.
All right.
You can.
All right. Well,
You're technically able there, aren't you?
Hmm?
You're technically able there,
I
aren't
can make
you?
adjustments to it, so
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to do
yeah, I
it.
can make adjustments to it to get it to work.
10-minute MP3, just about 32k in mono, and it'll only be a small file, and you can send it to me either probably if it's a large file, use I think it's called sendit.com. Let me just find that for you. Here it is. Sendthisfile.com. Okay? You can use that to send large files to anyone. It's a free. Go for the free one. It's all free and quite legal. All right, Zach? Okay. Have a nice day then, sir.
Still there?
Sleep tight.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Thanks for calling, mate. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
There we are, young Zach in Australia. There's a little bit of a delay because he's obviously on the other side of the world. Always when Zach calls in, there's a little bit of a delay there, okay? Right, we were looking at when the clocks change. When do the UK clocks change for... when UK clocks change? Because our clocks will be changing shortly. 2:09 to 2:12. There we are. Let me see. Here we go. Sunday, the 31st of October. That's when our clocks move backwards by 1 hour, and we then become GMT. At the moment, we are BST. We are still British summertime. On Sunday, the 31st of October, so that's next week. Halloween! Oh, hang on. Halloween! Sorry, a little bit of Halloween effects there for you. Yes, Sunday the 31st of October is when our clocks move backwards 1 hour. So watch that because you might miss the show. Right, another couple of messages coming up here. Vicky wants to know, I have a feeling that there's a week gap. You would then become a pre-breakfast show time. Blimey, that would be early. I don't suppose you'll be up that time, will you, Vicky? I can't see you getting up at 5 in the morning, my love. Vicky says, my least part of favourite of flying is the luggage carousel. The endless waiting for the bags to get tossed out onto the waiting ground. And they come up that little hole, don't they? And isn't it very clever how it waits? Certainly, now where was this? I saw this. Certainly at Sydney, right, the bag comes up out of this hole and then it waits for a gap in the bags. It doesn't chuck it down onto a bag it's very, very clever. It doesn't chuck it down onto a bag that's already there. It kind of waits for a gap in the bag and then it throws another one out. It's all very clever. Anyway, we hate that, waiting for bags to come round on the carousel. Let's have a look. Fag Ashley wants to know, who is this Mike Cullen geezer? Is he new? She says, have you seen Mike's pic? He looks it. Let's have a look. Where's Mike? Has he got a picture on his Skype thing? Let's have a quick look. I don't know if he has actually. Mike, no, there's no picture on there. He's just got some sort of logo on there. It's just some sort of logo. Terry Turner, yes, the PlayStation 3, the Wii, the GameCube, or the Xbox, all different games. I've actually got a Wii that I bought in January And outrageously, I've only used it once, a couple of times, and I turned it off, and it hasn't been on since, I'm afraid. So complete and utter waste of money there. A bit naughty, really. I'm not one to waste money like that. Very naughty indeed. Gavin Bass says he's not cooking today. Oh, well, that's a shame, Gavin. We were all going to come round for dinner earlier. We were coming round for dinner. Oh, well, won't bother now. Zach says, when they change, do you say on the same times? Will you still be on at 11 on Tuesdays? Yes, I will still be on at 11 o'clock UK time, right? But we, although it says 11, I find it incredibly complicated when clocks move backwards and forwards. But we will be on at 11 o'clock UK time. But that becomes GMT. At the moment, we are on BST. So the show will start for you an hour earlier, okay? So whatever time it is now, it will start an hour earlier. That's, of course, assuming that your clocks don't change. Because what we find happens, all these clocks move in different parts of the world at this time. And it just confuses everyone. I don't know why we all bother. I mean, wouldn't it be easier to just have the same time all year round? I mean, forget about farmers this and people, children crossing the road, it's safer and all this, that and the other. Forget about that, right? Wouldn't it just be easier for the clocks to say that stay the same all year round? It would, wouldn't it? It's just madness. Right, email address once again, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you want to join us live, okay, and it's coming up to 3:45 on the 23rd of October 2010, UK time, if that's the time where you are now, you can join in live. We have Skype. The Skype username is United Kingdom Radio. And we have a live phone number, London phone number 020 3287 1488. Okay? Now, I haven't heard all of Terry Turner's show yet, but I do gather that someone won the radio last night. I'm very pleased to say. Not sure who it was, actually. I haven't listened to the show yet. Sorry, Terry. I will listen to it on the way to work tonight. So congratulations. And I'm kind of wondering here, what have you ever won? What have you won in your life? Anything at all that you might have won? My biggest win, I think, was bingo once. I was at bingo in Clapham in London. And I'm going back here about 20 years, maybe a little bit longer, 25 years maybe. And I won £50, £50, which 25 years ago, believe me, was a lot of money. That would be like £500 now, I would imagine. £50 I won. Okay, Simon's on the line in Isle of Wight. Good afternoon, Simon.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
No difference between the time in the Isle of Wight and the mainland, is there?
No, well, I don't know. Some people say we're about 20 years behind you, so...
20 years behind? Oh, no, it's nice. I like the Isle of Wight. Is it right it's sinking?
Oh, yes, I think scientifically it is, but I can't say as in my nearly 45 years of living here, I can't say as I've noticed my garden sinking much, but
well,
I think millimetre by millimetre it is.
How far is it going down per year? Do you know?
Oh, I've no idea.
Shall we have a look? I wonder if there's anything on the internet about that.
Yeah. My daughter, who won't speak, is only about 3.
Hello.
Oh, she has
Hello.
spoken.
Who's that?
That's my daughter, Shania.
Janaya.
See, I'm introducing you to all my family. It was number one son last week, and now it's my daughter.
Hello. Callum's there as well, is he?
No, he's gone down his nan's. I think he's with his uncle mucking about in the garden, I think.
Okay, he sent me a couple of Facebook messages this week as well.
Oh, yeah, he's a typical 10-year-old. He's all into that. It's really strange. It's a bit like when kids used to come home and use the telephone. They don't now.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, my God. I remember our first ever telephone when I was living in Peckham in London, and it was an old black dial telephone. And it used to ring, and we all used to run for that when we were children.
I remember one I had at the house I grew up in Shanklin, and it was like a Bakelite telephone, and we were on a party line. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, we had a party line as well. You'd pick up the phone, and then you'd have to listen first to whether there was someone else already on there. And if there was, you were supposed to put the phone down. But you didn't, did you? You kind of hit the...
No.
We used to sit there and listen to the conversations, dear.
You could listen to some wicked conversations going on.
Actually, it's funny you should mention Bakelite. Of course, our first phone was Bakelite. Terry Turner, who was doing a show last night, was talking about records and old records and that. And before I came on today, I went into my cupboard and I pulled out some old shellac. It's shellac, isn't it, the material?
I think so, yeah.
Records.
I know what you're talking about.
And I've got here a carrier bag full of these really old 78 records.
Good heaven.
And let me tell you, the one in front of me now, how old are you again?
I'm 45 next month.
Right, you'll be just about, you're not old enough to remember them properly, but probably the same as me, you just about remember these. This is a Decca record, right?
Yeah.
This is an old 78, The Wedding of Lily Marlene from Anne Shelton.
Good heaven.
And I've got a whole bag of these things here. The trouble is, every time, because they're very brittle, and every time I take them out of the cupboard, I find another one has been broken. Oh, look at this one. Coconut Woman from Harry Belafonte. An
Good heaven.
Ireland. How would I find out if that's worth anything?
Oh, I don't know. Probably there must be something if you typed into Google on the trusty internet that would give you some sort of idea.
Do you reckon?
Put some sort of generalisation sort of value of 78 records, and I'm sure it would direct you to something.
Shall I try that? Value 78 record.
Harry Belafonte.
In the Sun. Harry Belafonte. I reckon I'm going to come up with about 20 quid. I reckon. Let's see if this works. I don't know if this will work. What's the time? Blimey, it's 10 to 4 already. Christ, it goes quick.
Don't time fly when you're having fun.
Yeah, it does, yeah. By the way, Sean Rich is not on today. Okay. Harry... Record values? Record valuation. Okay.
You're doing very well for a man because you're multitasking. You're talking.
I can do... Well, you have to in this, unfortunately. Loads of things.
That's why I'd be no good at it.
all at the same time. Well, no, I can't find anything in there. Try eBay. ebay.co.uk.
My kids hardly understand what records are. They think 45s and LPs are a huge joke, let alone 78.
Well, young Gavin, who was on Terry's show last night, was kind of wondering what they were talking about. Yeah, it's those little records. Oh, here we go. Oh, Harry Belafonte, Ireland in the Sun, £3.99.
That was hardly worth the effort, was it?
Well, it's not. And, you know, it's a nice thing to have, because these were my nan's records.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. That's nice.
And it's nice to have, and these were sitting there in her she had a big unit, I can't remember, radiogram?
Oh, yes, I remember those.
Yeah. She had a great big thing in her living room. I mean, it was bigger than the telly I've got in my room now, to be honest. And this was, you know, the centre, you know, it was a piece of furniture, a wonderful pieces of furniture where they made these record players, you know, all out of ornate wood and great big speaker on the front and all this business. When I was a kid, I actually climbed in this thing with it plugged in. Okay, and started pulling it apart. I don't think they knew what I was doing.
Did you stand on a turntable and use it as a merry-go-round?
Like on Trumpton, you mean?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you'll show your age now.
Yeah, pew, Barney McGrew, Toughbert, Billy Grubb.
Billy Grubb, that's someone else, I think. I think you've gone a bit astray there.
Vicky in New York is saying, I'll be up at 5 a.m. Oh, Vicky, you are another dedicated, just like Zach. You're
an international superstar. So
do me a favour. Zach and Vicky should get together, I think, because they're both dedicated listeners. They have something in common. What do you reckon, Vicky? Vicky, do you fancy a toy boy? 18-year-old Australian lad. He might be open to offers, Vicky. Eh?
Wow.
She says, I'll be up at 5 a.m. I could actually hear the whole show if it started at 5 o'clock in the morning. Congratulations to whoever won the radio. Hope they live in the UK so that they can actually use it. What exactly is DAB? Actually, that's what I meant to tell you. Remember I said I was going to get one of those DAB radios for the car?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you probably weren't with us on Tuesday. I did actually buy one. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Fitted it in the car.
Well, did you fit it, or did you get a man to do it?
No, well, you don't actually fit them in. This is not a replacement. It's like an add-on.
Oh, right.
And it's another thing, I'm afraid, that you've got to stick to the window. You know,
right.
Yet
Have a double see out soon, won't you?
Yet another thing that you've got to stick to the window. And, it's okay, but I find the coverage is not as good. For example, when I say this, I mean, for example, I like to listen to LBC. It's a talk radio in London. I can pick that up almost all the way to Brighton. Okay, almost, right? With my new DAB, I lose it even before I get outside the M25. So
I think that's the trouble. I think we'd have all sorts of trouble with them on the Isle of Wight, where it's so hilly.
Yeah. So I'm not impressed. I don't see how this is an improvement. You know, this is something that's been forced on us, I think. Fortunately, the government are not talking about turning the FM off at any near date in the future. I mean, the ludicrous thing is, even now, cars are not being fitted with these things.
No, that's right. And you think how long cars remain in circulation? They remain in circulation for ages, don't they?
Well, the ones coming out of the factories now are still not being fitted with these DAB radios. So I mean, the whole thing is a complete and utter shambles. I mean, it really is. It's a shambles. It's one of my favourite words. That shambles. Yes. Hey.
Yeah, it's very descriptive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before I go, totally different subject.
Yes.
But I nearly stood you up this morning. Well, this afternoon at 3 o'clock, I nearly had a better engagement.
Oh yeah, where was this then?
Well, it was at Medina Theatre on the Isle of Wight, and for half term we had an international superstar appearing on the lowly Isle of Wight. I bet you'd never guess who it was.
Go on.
Boom, boom! Is that a clue?
Basil Brush?
You're right, it was the fox himself.
Do you know, he must be ancient now. I'm surprised he's not dead yet, Basil Brush.
He doesn't. Do you know the strange thing about it is I've seen a picture of him lately, and even his brush ain't grey. The most.
A lot of people think that's actually a puppet, you know.
No, get away. What a thing to say. You'll be telling me Father Christmas doesn't exist in a minute.
No, now that you've said that, I'm going to cut you off because this is a family show, and you may have just upset a lot of children. I mean, Zach is 18. You may have just upset him now.
Well, no, I haven't upset him. I was worried that you were going to say that.
I mean, Gavin Bass as well has always believed in Father Christmas, and you've just ruined it for them. I mean,
I'm not saying I don't believe, because I mean, otherwise, where would all my presents come from?
What sort of man are you, upsetting kids like that, eh?
Well, you'll be surprised what sort of man I am.
A very nice one.
Have you got your Christmas list from, what was your name? Goa, was it, my darling?
Oh, Shania.
Janaya, I beg your pardon. Janaya. How old are you?
13. 14 on Friday.
14. Have you decided on your Christmas present yet?
No.
What do you think you'd like? Anything in particular?
I haven't thought of it yet.
Oh, well,
what can you give a girl who's got everything?
Oh, well, that's it, you see. I say that to my sister. She says, what are you getting me for... She said, what are you getting me for Christmas? She goes, what are you getting me for Christmas? And I say, what can I get a girl who's got everything? And I usually manage to wriggle out of it like that.
Well, I haven't bought I've got two sisters, I haven't got any brothers.
Yeah.
We have bought each other presents for years. We buy our, respective kids presents.
Yeah, yeah.
But, see, what I was saying last year comes from my poor background, see? Poor,
Okay.
I was so poor. When I was young, I lived out of a shoebox.
Yeah. Zach wants to know, do we still have analogue TV? Yes, but it's gradually being switched off. Some parts of the country are now digital only. I think my area, I'm actually in the London television area, we are the last ones to go off. I don't know when that is. Do you, Simon?
No, I'm not sure. That's probably because her Mad just got a pad in Windsor, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has indeed. Yeah. All right then, Simon. Nice to talk to you, mate.
And you. See you then.
Yeah, good luck to the family. Bye-bye now, Simon.
Bye.
Cheerio. There we are. Simon on the Isle of Wight and his little girl there, and his son's out today. He's going to be a pool player, isn't he? He's, snooker or pool. Is it? It's not the same game, is it? Oh, I get very confused. Gavin says, it will be good when we can get net radio in the car. Yes, it will, but not yet. I mean, even I will, of course, have net radio in the car when I get an iPhone. I'm going to have a free iPhone upgrade in December. How are we doing on time? Oh, my word. Time is rushing away. Boys and girls, I think it's just about time for me to leave now. Thank you very much for joining us, as always. I'm with you live here on UnitedKingdomRadio.co.uk on Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 11 o'clock UK time and Saturday afternoons at 3 o'clock UK time. Okay? Do feel free throughout the days that we're not together to send an email in and I can read it out on the next show. Chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. Chris at UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. Coming up next on this Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, Tom Harris. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.